What's up, boys? It's your favorite casual here. Listen, Belal Muhammad has officially pulled out of UFC 310. In this video, we're going to be talking about who should replace him, who should headline this card, who should main event it. And as always, if you're looking for timestamps on this video, timestamps of all the fights I'm going to be talking about, go fuck yourself, all right? Listen, like I don't make timestamps, so I'm the laziest editor on YouTube. Let's go. The worst timeline. Okay, this is the midget card. First of all, let's talk about the fact that Pantoja, a current champion with the belt, is literally on this card, and not a single person online has talked about how this guy can headline it. Is that not the funniest thing ever? Like they're offering fights to Alex Pereira. They're offering fights to Kamaru Usman for an interim belt. Literally, Pantoja's just sitting there in the co-main event. He's like, guys, what the fuck? Like, they're offering an interim belt championship in the main event over a sitting undisputed champion. That's insane to me. This guy is fighting Kaya Sakura in the co-main event. I could not tell you who that is. I don't care. I see all the Instagram. It's literally his debut in the UFC, and this guy's getting a title shot. They couldn't even have him fight someone in the top five, like Kai Kara France or something for a shot at the title. I don't know. But everybody online's acting like they've known who Kaya Sakura is for years when they just found out about him 2 weeks ago when this fight was announced. I'm sorry if I don't watch Japanese kickboxing and I don't know who Kai Sakura is, okay? I have a life. I watch real fights like Shamil Gaziev in the UFC, okay? But moving on from that, let's talk about the Marab fight, okay? Because I have a bone to pick with Marab right now. This guy's been ducking Umar. This guy ruined my parlay with O'Malley, okay? Lost me $50. I had like 30 people at my house. They were all pissed because this guy's just cuddling O'Malley the whole time. I looked like a weirdo because I'm the guy who likes to watch all this stuff. This guy literally can't sell a pay per view either. Okay, nobody is paying to watch Marab fight anybody. Even though I do think this is a good fight, I would pick Umar to win this fight. Half because I hate Marab, half because I just think Umar is a better grappler. I think he's a better striker. I just think he's more well rounded than Marab. I think their grappling's going to cancel out, and it might just end up turning into a striking matchup like the Peter Yan fight turned, or sorry, not the Peter Yan fight, the Jose Aldo fight turned into. But let's go into the next fight, which is Shavkat v Kamaru Usman. All right, a fight for the interim belt. This is actually a sick matchup. Kamaru Usman's coming off of 3 losses right now. 2 losses to Leon Edwards and one 10-8 round against him uh by Khamzat Chimaev. And I think this is a great bounce back fight for him. I think if he can beat Shavkat Rakhmonov, that's straight into title territory. Okay, I think if you beat Shavkat, that's you. You're fighting Belal for the title, okay? And I think people will be hyped to see this fight. Me personally, I would pick Shavkat to win by a late rounds finish, but I could see the fight going either ways. And I think Shavkat, listen, imply from this what you will, Shavkat is definitely the type of guy to enjoy this matchup, okay? Just look at Shavkat and tell me this guy is not the kind of guy that would love to. Listen, imply from this what you want, but Shavkat would definitely like to beat up somebody who looks similar to Kamaru Usman. Imply from that what you will, okay? Shavkat v. Leon Edwards. I do not want to see this fight, okay? I could care less about Leon Edwards. I never want to see a Leon Edwards fight again. I was like, I was entertaining Leon Edwards when he was champion. Like the headshot dead thing was kind of cool until like his fans just started cheering it all the time and it got really annoying. Now that he's not champion, I could care less. Like if this guy is headlining a fight night, I'm not watching that fight night. I could care less. This guy did have a close fight with Bilal though, okay? People talk about that like it was straight domination. Go look at the judges' scorecards. I think all three judges had it 27-26, or sorry, 28-27. So he did have a close fight. It wasn't as dominant as people say it was. One more round and he would have won that fight. He is the pound for pound best clip farmer in the UFC too. Actually, it's just his coaches, dude. Like in the last fight, his coaches were screaming at him. He gets back after the fourth round. Real ones who watched my last video know I literally fell asleep during this fight. But Leon Edwards, he gets to his corner and his coach is like, Leon, you need to pull this out of the fire. And he goes, shut the fuck up. Like even Leon Edwards is sick of the clip farming from his coaches, dude. But this is the most boring fighter in the UFC. I could see Shavkat finishing him, but I think this fight's pretty much 50-50. Talking about Shavkat versus Bilal for a second, I do not think Shavkat's going to win this fight. I was going to drop a video about this closer to UFC 310, but now that this fight isn't happening for a while, I'll just talk about it now. I think Bilal is just more well rounded. I think he's a better grappler than Shavkat. I think Shavkat does have a greater threat finish, but I don't think he can finish a guy like Bilal Muhammad, who's went to like guys like Stephen Wonderboy Thompson couldn't finish Bilal, okay? And he's had better performances. He's more tried and tested. He's fought better competition. I just think Bilal's more tested. I think he will come out with the decision over Shavkat. Right. Next, let's talk Shavkat versus Ian Gary, okay? Now, look, we've got some downsides to this fight, and we've got some good sides. The downsides is basically we have to see Ian Gary in UFC embedded. We have to see him in the fight. We have to see him in interviews. That always sucks, okay? Nobody likes Ian Gary. This guy recently knocked out MVP. Wait, no, he did not. He lost it. What did I? I'm sorry. I wrote this like in the middle of my math class. I'm not sure what I was talking about. No, he recently beat him by decision. MVP was winning on the feet, so Ian Gary turned into a wrestler and just held him against the cage the whole time. One of the reasons that we hate Ian Gary, he's one of the most boring people ever. I swear, everybody loves welterweight, but then you actually look at the fighters and they're all boring and they just hold each other against the cage. This guy genuinely thinks he's Conor McGregor when nobody likes him. I think every single time this guy's fighting, all the commenters are rooting for the other guy, no matter who it is. Like nobody even likes MVP that much, and then he fights Ian Gary. All of a sudden, everybody's the biggest MVP fan. Cuck. Okay, I don't actually think this is true. I don't remember this. I'm gonna fact check this later. This might have been Sean O'Malley. Okay, but I'm pretty sure this guy's letting his wife sleep with other people. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyways, get into the actual fight. Good sides is we get to see him knocked out. Shavkat's definitely gonna finish Ian Gary. I think he's a lot more well rounded. I think he's a much bigger threat. I don't think if Ian Gary tries to take down Shavkat, I don't think he's gonna be able to. I think Shavkat would submit him within 2 rounds. Let's move on. Alex Pereira versus Ankalaev. Okay, this is the fight that everybody's been wanting to see. Alex Pereira is literally him if this happens, though. 4 title defenses in 1 year. I'm pretty sure that's a record. Actually, that's definitely a record. But the only problem with this guy did just go to war with Khalil, so I'm not entirely sure if he's healed up enough for this fight. But if he is, I know that Alex Pereira is the type of guy who, if he gets a call from Dana, you want to fight in 2 weeks? Shama. You know what I mean? Like this guy will just jump out. He will fight anybody. He'll defend his title at any point. The guy's getting old. He knows he needs to rack up title defenses. I think Alex Pereira, if he gets this done, he might be a top 5 fighter of all time. Okay, definitely already the third greatest light heavyweight of all time. I think he might be top 5. I think he might surpass Daniel Cormier with this win. I also think he absolutely kills Ankalaev. Okay, people are treating Magomed Ankalaev like he's the greatest wrestler in the UFC. Talking like this guy's Islam Makhachev reskinned. He's not, okay? This guy's mostly a kickboxer who just has good wrestling, but we've seen him get taken down. Like in his fight with Han Blachowicz, this guy was getting taken down all over the place. He was losing points on the ground. I think Alex Pereira has underrated grappling, okay? People talk about Alex Pereira like any state wrestler could just take this guy down. It's not true, okay? Alex Pereira, you see him at all of his training camps working on wrestling. This guy went live with Sean Strickland. He was taking Sean Strickland down. Sean Strickland's a black belt. He's a great wrestler. Alex Pereira's just an underrated grappler, okay? And this fight needs to happen at some point. I think Dana did just confirm it, which is a good thing, but we still want to see this fight. Dricus Du Plessis versus Sean Strickland or Kamzat, okay? Me personally, I love Kamzat. I love Sean Strickland. I think both of them deserve a title shot. I think Sean Strickland arguably got robbed against Dricus Du Plessis. I think Kamzat just first round submitted Robert Whitaker. Both of them deserve a title shot. I think Sean Strickland versus Dricus was basically confirmed, so I'm okay with that matchup. But I do think Kamzat would absolutely destroy Dricus. I think Sean Strickland versus Dricus is pretty much 50-50 matchup. They had one of the closest fights we've seen this year, although Sean Strickland arguably, like, I think he barely edged out that 5th round, but I think Sean Strickland won that fight. I think Kamzat would absolutely ragdoll Sean Strickland. I think he might do the same to Dricus, because we've seen Dricus get taken down by Robert Whitaker, and then we all saw what Kamzat did to Robert Whitaker last week. Okay, so I would love to see either of these fights. I think Dricus, he's healed up from UFC 305. Kamzat took absolutely no damage in his fight with Whitaker. Sean Strickland hasn't fought since UFC 302 when he fought with Paulo Costa, and he took like no damage in that fight either. And I just think the press conference would be really entertaining. I think Dricus, he's either going to bring up Strickland's abusive dad for absolutely no reason, probably make Strickland cry, and a bunch of edits are going to be made. Or he's just going to randomly bring up Kamzat's sick son and like a bunch of wars from like his childhood home. So either way, I think this is an entertaining fight. But these are the fights I think we should see for UFC 310 in replacement of Belal Muhammad. And I'll see you guys later.